Luka. The NBA officially suspended Luka for tonight's game against Washington after his 16th tech of the season. A double tech with Zaire Williams and Friday's win over Brooklyn. The Lakers appealed and lost. He'll miss $317,000 game check on a $46 million salary. Matthew, it is Luka's temper becoming a real problem, or did the Lakers actually luck out getting this out the way against a tanking team?
I mean, I come on here every time hating, talking about Luka's temper, talking about Luka complaining, talking about Luka yelling at the refs, talking about Luka dirty looking at his teammates. I mean, and then they keep appealing these techs, and they won the appeal a week ago. They got that tech rescinded, then he just got another one. And it's I mean, at some point you got to stop appealing the techs because, we can see what we see with our own eyes. I mean, clearly he's earning these techs. Clearly he's the instigator. And then, afterwards we're supposed to believe, like a couple weeks ago, Goga Batazde said terrible things about his family. Yeah, give me a break. Give me a break. 6 points a game, Goga Batazde on the horrible Orlando Magic. And I hope we're going to talk about them, that 31-0. Anyway, I hope we're going to talk about that. But, Luka's the initiator every time. You know how I know Luka's the initiator when it's the opposing team? Because he's the initiator when it's his own team. I mean, he dirty looking at his team. He throwing his arms in the air. It's very obvious. He's got a poor attitude. Now, he's a great player. He's a very great player. I do think come playoff time, it's going to be hard to give him 25, 30 shots a night and still be effective when teams are game planning just for him. But obviously, he's a great player. I mean, he's been killing it. So, yeah, I mean, you get it out of the way against the Wizards because, damn, I mean, even against Brooklyn where he got that tech, it was 41 for him again. 15 for 25. Right. So get it out of the way against the Wizards. But, without Luka shooting 30 shots, maybe LeBron and Reeves and Hachimura can see what their team's going to look like, what it's going to look like to play team basketball when you don't have somebody, putting up 30 shots. Because, look, it's all good right now because he's dominating right now. But come playoffs, you can't do that for 4 rounds. I mean, there's rare players, but I think they're going to be game planning for him come playoff time. And I think it's going to be a lot harder to get that every night. But one thing he can do is fix his attitude.
Yeah. All right. So listen, here's the silver lining that nobody's mentioning, right? By getting a tech number 16 now, he resets the count and would need 2 more to get suspended again, which is nearly almost impossible. I ain't going to say impossible with just 7 games left. He'd be kind of stupid if he got that with just 7 games left. The timing is actually ideal, right? So the bigger concern is whether that emotional edge that earns the text is the same thing fueling his 40-point averages, because you can't have one without the other.
Man, you could definitely have one without the other. Like you can be a great player and not have a shitty attitude. I mean, there's a lot of great players that don't have shitty attitudes. I mean, one of them, I know we make fun of SGA sometimes for the foul baiting, but he's got a great attitude. Wemby has got a great attitude. Now, Wemby can scowl at the opponents, and sometimes he gets competitive, and sometimes he looks indignant when he gets fouled. But his attitude toward his teammates is great. His attitude toward the referees is generally good. Most of the other players, there's rare ones. My favorite player obviously is Westbrook. Sometimes, he's gotten a little feisty with different players on the league. Harden obviously used to get pretty feisty with the refs. So, I mean, and the thing they have in common is they never got that chip. So Luka, you burn that hot, and sometimes you burn everything around you. And if all your teammates are walking on eggshells because you're mad at them all game, that's not competitive drive. That's not competitive spirit. I mean, one player got away with that, and that's Kobe. And, Luka's great. I don't know if he's Kobe. And, even Kobe, found ways to bring at least one person in, bring Gasol in, wrap him up. So you got to have friends in this league. Right. And I don't think Luka's attitude is conducive to having friends. And maybe he's talented enough to not need friends. Maybe he's talented enough to just go his whole life with a shitty attitude. But in terms of life, Sean, things go a lot easier when you have a good attitude.
Right. And Matthew, so a couple of things I want to touch on also, right? So the league was furious and upset, was that a few days ago when he should have had his 16 technical back then. And he said, "Oh, the guy said something about my mom in the language." And I went back at him, and they reviewed it and said, "All right, we're not going to give it to you." But
Mm-hmm.
Luka turned right around, bit the hand that fed him, and turned around and got the tech anyway. He avoided it just for a few days, but he came right back around. Like you say, you always talk about how he whines and cries and all that, but this time it bit him.
I don't even I don't even buy this nonsense about him getting the last tech rescinded against Batazde and the Magic. We're really supposed to believe that Batazde, this lifelong role player, that's my age almost. I'm 32. I think Batazde's 31. That's got by in this league. Carrying his lunch. Lunch pail guy, chop wood, carry water. We're supposed to believe that this guy was talking about the family of the biggest star in the league. I don't buy that for a second. I don't buy it for a second. It's shady. It's fishy. And I'm sure if you're the Lakers, you go with it because you're trying to get Luka's suspension rescinded. But you get it suspended. You get the tech rescinded, which why? So give him a little slap on the wrist, and then he just gets it again 2 games later. So I'm almost sure he'll get a couple more. It probably won't affect them because I don't think you get suspended for the playoffs. Even I think it resets in the playoffs where you'd have to get like 7 or something.
Uh-huh.
So it's obviously not going to affect them in the playoffs, but this is the time of the year where you want to be playing your best basketball, which I think a lot of people would say Luka is. So why get yourself kicked out of these games because of your horseshit attitude? And
all right.
Great player, but I think unless he fixes that attitude, it's going to be hard for that team to make a run because they're not going to come together come playoff time.
Right. And listen, I want to leave this out there to the fans. Do y'all think Luka gets away with murder? I want you to drop your comments down below. Hey, look, and don't forget, at the end of each show, we'll be reading your comments and we're going to post it right there on our YouTube channel. So make sure you check it out.
Make sure you be